Becca, it's probably spelled different, but I really don't care. Then you have Gunner. Then you have, who else, Gunner, Peyton. And I think that's it. No, Lucas. Did I put Lucas already? No, I didn't. So, these were some extra characters that were in it and everything. Now, they didn't make much of a deal, except for maybe Gunner. Gunner shot us with Airsoft 2, and he was on the golf cart. They were riding both golf carts too, which was my thing. Because they had their own neighborhood. Lewis and Riley live really close to each other. I live across the city, and all of that. So, after all of this, we still played video games, we talked, we had the life of our time. We didn't even care about Hudson and Moon. Right, so we didn't hate them, but we hated them. Like, we don't want to talk to them, but we'll make fun of them and they'll make fun of us. We really don't care, basically. So, then, whenever we played video games, like 2 weeks before the breakup, we have 2 weeks. Here's our timeline. We're at 2 weeks. So 2 weeks before it, we have, in fact, I feel like I'm not getting, they feel like I'm getting pushed out of the group, but they don't know of it. Like how they gave all each other admin in Minecraft, but I'm all alone. How, the fact that they call certain occasions. But it was whatever. I mean, we haven't met up in person in a while. 1 week before it. 1 week. We have Hudson. Basically, Hudson messaged me and told me that he needed to talk to me about a Discord server. The school's Discord server. And I was in the middle of a Fortnite match, so I couldn't do anything. I had to invite, I couldn't create another server, and then, because I was in a Discord call with someone, we were playing duos, and then it all just went down. I had to invite him to the server real quick. I locked out all the servers where you couldn't see in them, and then that Riley's the one that sent me a message saying, why is Hudson in our server? I told him it's for a second because he needed to talk to me. Then he said, well, why are you inviting the enemy to our server? I said, I didn't do anything because I was in a Fortnite match, so I had to real quick invite him because he was spamming me and asking about a server. So he said, you know I'm telling Lewis about this, right? I said, okay. So after all of that, Evan, which he's not a very important character, but he's in this. Evan. He doesn't mean much to the story. He doesn't have any effect. He was just in a call with me. We're playing, and that's it. So, what happened next? Well, he wanted to play Fortnite with him, so we invited him to the server, added him to Fortnite, and then we played one match, and then we kicked him, banned him from the server, and I banned him and everything, so he couldn't get it back in. Then, the day after, so 6 days. The next day, I get talked to, and that they were mad at me for inviting him, and I was like, I didn't do anything, I just had invited him real quick. Which, I understand they were mad at I invited him and I shouldn't have invited him. I get this. So, they talked to me and said that, they were mad at me and they don't want to talk to me right now. So, as the days go on, they don't talk to me for like 3 days. So, 3 days after is where it starts. So, whenever I tell them to join a call so we can talk and maybe resolve things, I get not yelled at, but like said, that was a horrible thing. Why did you do it? And all of that, which Raleigh was telling me to do that. He was mad at me. I understood he was mad at me. I shouldn't have done that. And I understand. So, after all of that, I leave the call because I'm just frustrated, and they leave the server. So I get angry, and I start inviting all of our enemies to our server. So after that, after inviting all our enemies to this server, the server we've been playing for a long time, we've been always using for a whole year since the beginning. They started spamming in this. They started using it. They started messaging horribly. And we talked in calls and played video games together. And I was just my temper. First it started with just me and Owen. Then he invited Lucas. Then invited Ethan. Like, it started with Owen. Then invited Ethan. Then invited Peyton, Gunner, Lucas, all of them. And then it was Hudson. And then Nolan. And then Becca's the last one. All of them. Will, Lewis, and Riley left the server. But they still had access to it. So that means they can join back into using it. So, one day left. 2 days, actually. 2 days. They see that, and they keep joining back and see that everyone joined and said, why is everybody in our server? And they start talking to each other, yelling at each other. And then 1 day left till the birthday. That one day was horrible. That one day I cried. That one day, everyone was in the call. They were all in the server. All of them were in the server. And everybody was in a call. And Will joined first and told me to join a separate call and locked it. So me and him were talking. He was mad at me and said, they're not going to trust you. And they're not your friend anymore. Until you have fixed it, and they're not going to trust you for a long time. So they get Lewis and Riley into the call, and Riley and Lewis tell me that they're not my friends anymore, and that Will tells me that I kicked them from the server, that they're not going to be friends with you, and that Riley and Lewis aren't going to be your friend anymore, and I'm not going to be your friend anymore. And in that moment, while he's talking to me, I'm breaking down in tears. And I'm not happy. I'm really sad, because I know it's the end of our story. So, I go ahead, and after they leave, Will only leaves. Riley and Lewis stay in the server. After everyone's kicked from the server, I start to delete every single message in the server. I don't want to delete the server because it'll delete all of our old messages. 1 year's worth. So then I get a message from Rally in the server, and he says, why don't you just delete the server? I said, because it has memories. Even if you don't both think, I still care. And he says, okay. And then Lou says, just delete it. He said, no. He says, okay. So they don't talk to me. And I'm pretty sure they blocked me. But I'm hoping I can resolve it. So if you see this Rally over this, or even well, please give me another chance. I haven't been lonely. I've been lonely ever since. And I haven't talked to any of them. I tried. I know y'all tried harder than ever. I just gave up, and y'all kept trying. I needed to try more. I needed to try harder. I'm the reason why it ended. I'm the reason why our relationship is dead. So, that's the story. That's how it all happened. Now, if you enjoyed it, no. If you disagree with me, no. It's my fault in the story. And I should have never done that. It's too late for me to realize this, but it's just how life is. You never realize something this early. You'll never realize it after it's too late. So, just